Welcome to Bible Study for Beginners. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Today, we explore Hope in Hard Times, Biblical Stories. Life is full of challenges and despair, but the Bible is rich with stories that remind us of hope and resilience. Let's consider the story of Job, a man who faced immense suffering. Despite losing his family, wealth, and health, Job remained steadfast in his faith. His story teaches us that even in our darkest hours, we can find strength in God. Job 42:10 tells us how God restored his fortunes, granting him even greater blessings. This illustrates that hope isn't merely wishful thinking, it's an assurance grounded in God's promises. Another powerful example is the journey of Joseph. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and wrongfully imprisoned, Joseph faced betrayal and hardship at every turn. Yet he maintained faith in God's plan. Genesis 50:20 beautifully captures God's redemptive power when Joseph tells his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." This passage reminds us that our struggles can lead to greater purposes, even if we can't see them initially. As we navigate our own trials, remember these stories. They offer not just inspiration, but practical insights for applying Christian principles daily. Reflect on how you can maintain hope amidst your challenges. Just like Job and Joseph, leaning into your faith can transform your perspective on adversity. Let's dive deeper into these biblical accounts and uncover how they can directly apply to our lives today. In hard times, biblical stories serve as poignant reminders of hope and resilience. One of the most powerful examples comes from the story of Joseph in Genesis 37-50. Joseph faced immense trials, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and wrongfully imprisoned. Yet, through it all, he maintained faith. His journey culminated in ascending to a position of power in Egypt, which allowed him to ultimately save not only his family, but an entire nation from famine. Joseph's story teaches us that darkness can lead to a brighter future. In Genesis 50-20, Joseph tells his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." This is a profound reminder that while immediate situations may seem dire, they can be part of a divine plan that leads to greater good. Another inspiring account is found in 1 Samuel 30, where David faced a devastating moment when his encampment at Ziklag was attacked and his family taken captive. Despite the despair that gripped him and his men, David sought strength in the Lord. In verse 6 it says, "But David found strength in the Lord his God." This instant of reconnecting with faith became crucial for him. David's reliance turned the tides. He pursued and recovered everything that was lost. When you find yourself in difficult times, reflect on these biblical stories. They illustrate how prayer and faith can lead to breakthroughs. Remember, God is present even in your hardest moments, guiding and providing strength. As Romans 15:13 proclaims, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him." Trust opens the door to experiencing hope, even amidst trials. Hold on to that assurance. As we reflect on hope in hard times through biblical stories, let's not overlook the powerful message found in the story of Joseph, detailed in Genesis 37 and 39-50. Joseph faced profound adversities: betrayal by his brothers, enslavement, and imprisonment. Yet through it all, he maintained his faith in God, leading to his eventual rise to power in Egypt. Joseph's journey is a reminder that our challenges can transform us for a greater purpose. As Genesis 50-20 says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." This verse not only provides encouragement, but shows us that every hardship might serve a divine plan. Similarly, the book of Job showcases unwavering faith amidst intense suffering. Job endured the loss of his children, wealth, and health, yet he refused to curse God. His story teaches us about the importance of enduring trials without losing sight of God's goodness. Job 42:2 highlights this theme wonderfully. I know that you can do all things. No purpose of yours can be thwarted. When we face tribulations, reflecting on Job's perseverance can inspire us to trust in God's sovereignty, even when circumstances seem dire. We can also draw insights from the New Testament, particularly the letters of Paul. In Romans 5:3-5, Paul writes, "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope." This passage beautifully connects suffering with the development of our character and the deepening of our hope in God. In conclusion, as we face life's challenges, we should remember these stories: Joseph's triumph, Job's endurance, and Paul's teachings. They all serve to remind us that hope is not just a fleeting feeling. It is a steadfast trust in God's plans for us, even when the path is unclear. Embrace these biblical narratives as tools for reflection, and let them guide you in nurturing hope in your heart during difficult times.